Hi everyone. So I'm sure you know that Conan recently received a huge update moving it from UE4 to UE5. Because of that, a lot of original roleplay servers kind of got a little messed up. Mine personally deleted a lot of the buildings I made. And because I could not move my roleplay server to UE5 yet due to a lot of necessary roleplay mods like TOT not being updated yet, I decided to make a new server on UE4. That, and I've seen that many roleplay servers have been sticking to Legacy. So I'm going to be making my character and I'm going to be showing you guys around my new server, Aurelin Age of Fables. So as you can see, we have a custom starting area. You're going to create your character here and speak to the lady in front of you to set up your backstory. There also is a book beside her that is your classes. The class book lets you pick classes like magical classes or physical classes that give you extra abilities in the game. So you're going to create your character and then you're going to speak to her. The Discord link, in the Discord you can find the Nation's Lore channel. What that's going to do is it's going to explain the 2 starting cities so far and also all the races you can choose from and their perks and what they look like. This is a very fantasy-based server, so it's not really rooted in Conan Exiles lore, and I understand if a lot of people don't like it because of that, but if you're tired of the same Conan Exiles roleplay or the same lore and you want more flexibility for your story or your character, this is definitely the server you should join. So for my character, I'm making her a lichen, and more specifically a werewolf. I think it's a really cool race or species, and I really like werewolf depictions most times, so I kind of want that as a character. We have tons of hairstyles and war paint or everything to choose from, really. Face styles as well. We have lots of cosmetic mods that help that. So you have a lot of flexibility when it comes to creating what your character looks like in this server, and you can change it at any time. Now that our character is finished, we're going to speak to Teresa and then also pick a class from that class book. And yes, if she looks familiar, it's because she is. Now I've picked my class and she's going to ask questions about my character to help set it up for me essentially, which is going to, like, for example, if you pick vampirism, if you want to be a vampire, she's going to give you this vial of blood and it's automatically going to be consumed by your character and it's going to turn your character into a vampire. So therefore, your character now no longer eats normal food and doesn't get hungry normally through Conan. They can only feed on blood of other players or NPCs. So I picked Bowerstone as my starting location, and what you're gonna do is when you join the Discord server and you get approved, you're gonna have this channel, right? And it's gonna have the password. So the only way to get out of the spawn room, or aka the holding cell, is to have that password from the server and then input that in, and then boom, you're fine. You're out and you're able to enjoy the world and roleplay as you wish. I have now left the room, and as you can see on the TOT chat, it tells everyone online that there is a new player in Bowerstone or whatever starting city you picked. Here, I'm working on my in-game character sheet, which is not necessary for this server, but it probably will help you when it comes to terms of actually role-playing, or especially roleplay combat, if you're not doing mechanical combat. This is the admin panel for the races, and the thing about that is that certain races have to be applied to you by an admin. Like, you cannot get it from Teresa. The admin has to be online to do it for you. You will know if you have that race because, as you can see right here, the HUD is glitched, but it will show the mark of that race and the name above your health and stamina bar. That HUD glitch will fix on its own after a time, or you can just re-log in and fix it yourself. This area right here are the daily bounties area, where you can pick up 2 daily bounties and, just complete them, turn them in, get some gold, get some XP. So Bowerstone's holding cell is in a jail, which is where the bounties are at, and right outside here we see an entrance to Bowerstone, but excuse the false eyelashes kind of blocking the screen a little bit. But yeah, there's a weekly quest right there in front of you as you come in. Here's one of the entrances, and over this bridge is really the main part of the city, like the town market and stuff like that. It only looks a little empty because a lot of these NPCs are programmed to be out here at certain times, and you can only get quests from them at certain times, and you can only go shopping during the daytime. I wanted to make my server as close to an actual RPG game as possible. So hopefully when you join and you start doing these quests and you start visiting these towns, that's the experience you get to have. As you see here, I try to open the door to the alchemist shop, but as you see, it tells me I can't right now because it's not open yet. And then up here is a library where you can learn languages because each race/species has their own starting language they start with, but everyone starts with English as well. So this way, when you type in the TOT chat, I think it's /your language, it won't show to anyone unless they know that language. Like it's kind of blurred out. So only other people who speak that language can read it as well. So if you are an Unbound, for example, you have your own speech. So if you type in that speech, only other Unbound or people who know that speech can read it. There are many parts of the city I'm not going to be exploring with you guys yet. You can always join and explore it on your own. I just only wanted to give a quick rundown of everything. Over here we have houses for rent, but they're actually not fully for rent yet. They are fully decorated. I just haven't scripted a system that would work as monthly rent, but I definitely will if anyone's interested in them. They're just player homes, mainly for roleplay purposes, so you get to live in the actual city you started in, and it does come equipped with all of your workbenches. Here is another exit for Bowerstone that leads straight to the waterfall. We're going to go back to where we started at by the blacksmith, and we're going to head to the center, kinda. I did indeed style this off of the clock tower in Bowerstone from Fable 2. Here we have a bar you can pick up a job from, a gift store. You can buy gifts for other players or for yourself if you want to. And we also have a clothing store, which obviously in Conan this part, Conan is modded through TOTs, so you can literally change your clothes at any time. You don't need to buy clothes. So to stick to the idea of it, I just made mannequins that would give you an example of things that are fashionable in this area. Each city has its own fashion and what it considers attractive, which helps set up lore and also can help you feel more immersed. And then right here is the bar you can pick up a shift from. You can also gamble here too. You can only complete one shift per every 2 hours. And if you leave the bar, it's going to quit the quest, okay? So you're not going to get paid for your shift if you leave the bar. And there's also, like I said, a place you can gamble in both bars. The one in Bowerstone and the one in Bloodstone both have different gambling tables, so to say. The one in Bowerstone is roulette, and I believe the one in Bloodstone is blackjack. Here is the northern entrance or exit to Bowerstone that leads to a farmhouse, and that farmhouse is for, well, it has a store, which is a farmer, and it also does have a quest tied in with it, but I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. And then we're going to claim our free kits from typing in /kit in the TOT chat. This is for all newcomers, and there's also a daily reward kit that you get for logging in every day. There is also a free incinerator in the kit, which is good because you don't ever want to like start dropping stuff when you're out and about or on the server in general or at your house. It's bad for server health, so putting down a free incinerator really quick and throwing away what you don't want, or putting it at your house and throwing away what you don't want, is way better for server health. Not to mention every starting city has an incinerator somewhere, if not multiple in that city for that exact reason. And then you have all of your workbenches here as well. These are universal workbenches, which means they basically do almost, I think, everything in the game that you would need them for. And they're very efficient and very fast. Down here is towards another exit or entrance to Bowerstone, and it's also where the docks are at and where you can fast travel. This is where a couple more stores are available. And as you see, there's an incinerator right there, as well as a job board where you can post jobs, things you're looking for. Maybe you need to hire a mercenary. Maybe you want to hire a personal seamstress for a special occasion. Maybe you need an herbalist or something, you know. Down there are the ships where you fast travel, and there's stables too where you can get a horse for cheap. And here are some more stores where you can buy things, and towards the end is another reference to Fable 2. We have Murgo, the strange trader. He sells extreme exiles accessories and stuff like that, and the stone golem besides him sells shoulder pets. Some of the shoulder pets are more expensive than others, but that's because some of them are just cosmetic, and some of them actually give you different buffs in the game. Beside it is a player market where you can buy a stall to place down your market, essentially. Whatever you want to sell, you can sell it through said NPC, and other players can buy it from you. Buying a stall is like 45 gold, but it's mainly to get something for someone to save up for. You do start with some gold, but it's not 45 gold. It's just enough to get you started and maybe buy a couple accessories if you really want. But I want there to be initiative to build up for something. So a stall would be something you could save for. And then once you get a stall, you can start selling your goods and things that you found, like really cool armor, weapons, whatever it might be. And there is a player market in both Bowerstone and Bloodstone, so it doesn't matter which one you pick, they both have player markets. Down here is a small dock you can fish at, and you can sell fish you catch to the fishermen. Over here are a couple NPCs you can interact with, and one of the NPCs is only there at nighttime on the outside of that caravan, but you can get a quest from her. And down here are the ships, and these ships are used to take you to different places. So you can travel between the two starting cities for free. Bloodstone and Bowerstone are both free to get to, and there is an escort there who can take you to your home. The escorts here work as kind of like mercenaries to, I guess, add to the sense of roleplay and also make it where you can get back home easily, but also not too easy. There are a few other caravans on the map as well. Over here are the stables, and we're going to buy us a starting horse so that we can get further away to where I want to build my house at. Which, disclaimer, I'm going to cut out the part where I did build my house because I ended up rebuilding it somewhere else completely different off camera. Here I am going to show you guys Bloodstone. This way I can show you both starting cities. So it's going to load you in outside the Bloodstone ship. This way, you know, for roleplay purposes, obviously, but also you're right beside another escort, too. You can see her there with blonde hair. She is also a mercenary escort that you can talk to get back to your house. And yes, it is free to talk to the escorts to get back to your house. It's just a roleplay friendly way to implement having the safety of getting back home without really ruining immersion and without also making it too easy for players to just TP back home. Here we have a dockhouse, which just goes to show the lore behind Bloodstone mainly is that they were once a very popular trade city, but due to oncoming banshee attacks and many mysterious disappearances in their home, needless to say, they are not the trade city they once were. Bloodstone is home to vampires, though. It's a lot more receptive to vampires. Mainly because the vampires within Bloodstone usually stick to their own and don't cause much trouble. Bloodstone is a lot smaller than Bowerstone, in which of course it has reason for that due to prolonged banshee activities and attacks on their village and their city. So because of that, they have downsized to a smaller, more easily guarded area. There is a job board here. There are still unique traders here and also just base traders as well. And as mentioned before, there is also a player market here too. Bloodstone might look a little different by the time you see this video though, because I ended up expanding it a tiny bit more and adding some more quests to the area. And if you're curious where you spawn in, if you choose Bloodstone, you actually spawn into a room in this inn. That is the holding cell for Bloodstone. Here's another gamble that was mentioned earlier, and he does use a different coin though than the coins we use in our system, so you'd have to transfer or will buy that coin from Lestat there. And then here at the bartender, you can also buy vials of blood if you're a vampire as a way to hold yourself off. Because if you do choose the vampirism as a starter, you do not have to eat normally at all. In fact, you no longer have a hunger or thirst meter. Instead, you have a bloodthirst meter. And if you exit Bloodstone through the main entrance, this guard is a real guard, by the way. She does actually defend Bloodstone. You will see that there are witchfire powder all over the place, and there is a POI here telling you the story behind the witchfire powder and why it's placed around the village. And now we're able to see the village. It's run down, abandoned, and rather empty and covered in a mysterious fog that's supposedly caused by the banshees. You will not find any NPCs or traders out in this part of the village for obvious reasons. This part of the village is already attacked and rampaged and now no longer has any NPCs left. And once again, if the story seems even remotely similar to you, it probably is because, well, it is familiar and it is similar. It is based off of Bloodstone from Fable 2. Here's me now running around this beautiful map on my horse looking for a place to build. And if this map does look different, it's because it is. The server does say it's still the Conan Exiles base map, but it actually isn't. It's Isle of Tirnanog, which is a very unique, large map that severely expands the base map and adds new biomes and new enemies. I also stopped the journey here to show you guys that there's an NPC who buys treasures and is a collector of sorts. And she's not very far from Bowerstone. Now, here are some split up clips of me trying to find a place to build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be working on another one very shortly, and I hope if you enjoyed it so far, you'll consider joining our roleplay server. And that'll be it for the video. Thank you guys for watching.